prisoner quietly stuffed a piece of gauze from the infirmary into his pants. Then while he was working, he stole a box of paper clips. Back in his cell, he rolled toilet paper into a wad to make a crude fuse, then quickly took out the stolen paper clips from under his bed. Now all he had to do was wait for the nightly power shutdown inspection. He'd jam the paperclip into the outlet, and the massive electrical surge would instantly ignite the toilet paper, allowing him to set fire to the books and blankets on his bed. To make it look more like an accidental fire, he even deliberately burned his own arm. Once everything was in place, he yelled for help to the guards. When they arrived, they immediately pulled Jimmy out of his cell. Jimmy was then taken to the infirmary for treatment, which was exactly part of his plan. With the guards busy putting out the fire in his cell, he easily overpowered the prison doctor. After knocking the doctor unconscious, he quickly shoved aside a storage cabinet in the corner, removed the ventilation grate, and carefully crawled into the vent shaft. To keep his escape route from being discovered, he even pushed the cabinet back into place. The shaft was so narrow that he had to crawl slowly. An hour later, Jimmy finally reached the drainage opening. Now that stolen piece of gauze would come in handy. Outside the prison, a large crowd had gathered for an anti-death penalty demonstration. So Jimmy wrote the same protest slogans on the gauze, then climbed a ladder up to the manhole cover. To avoid drawing attention once he surfaced, Jimmy used the gauze covered in slogans to hide his body. But unexpectedly, a woman noticed him. She saw the large slogans he'd written and wanted to pull him into the center of the crowd to show them off, but ended up accidentally pulling off the gauze and exposing his prison uniform. With no other choice, Jimmy quickly dragged the woman into a corner, knocked her unconscious, grabbed her car keys, and drove off in her vehicle. But Jimmy underestimated the police's tracking abilities. The next day, the police traced Jimmy's location using the woman's vehicle information. With capture imminent, Jimmy burst into a house and took the homeowner hostage. He then poured gasoline all over the room. When the police broke down the door, Jimmy quickly ignited the gasoline. The massive flames trapped the police on the first floor, while he took the chance to jump out of a second-floor window and escaped once again.